Good morning. Did that work? Did that,
I'm going to laugh if they say, "Are you on yet?"
are you hello? Are you streaming? We're on YouTube, so that'd be lying. Ha 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 ha. I know better than you do. Well, good morning. Good afternoon to anybody else that's not on the East Coast. That's further along in the future. Um, this is the IT Hour, hosted by Jump Cloud. IT Hour is a community-led uh, Sean. IT Hour is a community-led conversation. It's very engaging. I have Becky. I have Alexa. We're all part of the total community team, but we are here just to talk shop, talk IT, talk about all things Jump Cloud or things not Jump Cloud. Yeah, we have a very short time today. We don't really have a whole lot to cover. We don't really have anything crazy to go over, but we do have the IT hot seat, which I know everyone loves to do. We have a community update from Becky. We also have our meetup update from Alexa. And yeah, so in normal fashion, hello, Sean. Hello, Michael. Hello, Nathan. Hello, Ryan. Anthony, welcome back, everyone. Rob, welcome back. I see you. Sinisa, Keith, Greg, Mark, Joel, Sean, and Cole. Everyone, welcome. If this is your first time here, happy to see you. If it's your second time or third time, welcome back. I'm glad that you've taken time out of your busy day to come hang out with, well, me, honestly. Let's see, and Lexa and Becky, of course. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Let's be honest, they're here for you, Ben.
Let's see. Then it worked. Yep, the slurping worked. And roast bin. Don't not forget we roast bin. Sort of. Yes, we do roast bin. I think we have enough backing here to get the coffee idea off the ground. What does everyone think on that one? I think the coffee idea needs to happen. The IT hour coffee, or is it just the
Ben roast?
The bin roast. I think it's a thing. I think it needs to happen.
I think this community-led coffee may just take on a life of its own.
Yeah, we can have different flavors. Yeah, we can name them after our releases. Cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with our community update with Becky.
All right. It needs to be a dark roast. I think you're right. I think we're headed to the dark side.
It needs to have the most caffeine, so that's a light roast.
Yes, but we're dark here, so I don't know. We may need to debate that.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. See, I was thinking espresso too. I don't know. Yeah. We may need to take a poll, Ben. That may be our next poll. So, hello, everyone. I'm Becky Scott, Senior Manager of Community. If you didn't know that already, you do now. What do we have in store for you? We mentioned last week, just so you don't forget, the Jumpies, which are our Jump Cloud Customer Awards, are open and live. We will drop that in the chat for you. You can submit your company's story through June 8th. What we are doing here is we're giving you the chance to tell us what you are doing with the Jump Cloud product, to talk about some cool things you are doing, and submit your story, get your company in for a chance to win accolades and awards, actually a real award that we will present. And if you're in the US, you even have a chance to potentially come to our all company meeting in July, and maybe even I don't know. I'm not sure if this is going to be an incentive or a disincentive, but you could actually come to our all company meeting in July and meet some of us in person and get the award in person. And we will also make a donation to a charity in your company's name as well. So I think that's really cool that we've got several things going there. So please, please, please submit that. We've got 4 categories. One of them is a community category, which will be community chosen. So not only do you have the chance to get 3 different awards via some judges, but there's one category that is specifically for the community, and the community will vote, and you could win from your peers. So, hey, get going on that. You have until June 8th, and then we'll start voting after that. And another quick thing, if you haven't seen it yet, our design team is asking for some feedback on new features for the devices page. So those of you who like to be involved and give feedback and give your opinion, please go check that out and give them feedback, and maybe even comment on the thread so they know that you have taken the survey. Do that. We're actually, the more you all participate in stuff like that, the more they will come onto the community and involve you and ask for your feedback and ask you to be involved in betas or focus groups or things like that. So if you want more of that, make sure you participate, because that's really important to keep the community-led stuff going. So
yeah, everyone except for Rob.
Oh, ouch. Poor Rob. Well, actually, too late, because Rob already participated in the survey. Ha!
Yeah,
so there you go, Rob. Thanks for that. He was the first one. And I think that's all I have for community for the time being. So there you go. I'll drop those links though.
Awesome. Thanks, Becky. Rob, you know I love you. I'm just kissing. hissing. He's hissing at me.
No, Rob. Mwah, mwah, mwah. We love you. And everybody else too. It's not just Rob. We love all of you. That's why we're here every week.
Oh,
well, except Ben. We'll explain that in a little bit. Vacations.
You're all welcome to do it without me. I don't think it's going to be nearly as successful. I'm just kidding.
I would agree with that.
I'm kidding. Next up is Alexa with a very fun meetup update.
Yeah, thank you. So welcome, everyone. We had a really fun week in the world of meetups this week. We had 3 virtual meetups for our Chicago, DC, and Raleigh groups. And I am just continually blown away about how, these discussions are evolving and the group is growing. And we had some really fun and interesting discussions about a day in the life of an IT admin. And I just thought, it was so interesting because we had these 3 different meetups and different groups, and we, the groups don't really talk to each other, but we did see some common themes emerging across all of the groups with regard to a day in the life of an IT admin. So I'll just talk about a few. Ben, Becky, feel free to jump in. But I think one of the big things that we talked about this week was overcoming challenges of pushback when it comes to implementing best practices that either higher ups or even colleagues don't really understand. They don't know what it takes to secure, our networks and our devices. So that was really interesting to kind of talk about that across all of the groups, because that's definitely a common challenge that we're all facing. And so we talked about how to have those conversations with like the CEOs and with our colleagues, so they can understand the risks that we're facing and why they're actually very important. And that kind of led to other discussions about friction and how it's ultimately better to deal with these things up front and maybe have some friction in the short term in order to have, this long-term security. So that was really interesting to talk about. We also talked a lot about upskilling and staying up to date on the latest releases when, this is essentially a round-the-clock job for IT admins. Even though they work, 9 to 5, people don't always respect that when it comes to IT. So how do we deal with boundaries and staying up to date on all of those things? So it was just really interesting to hear different perspectives on that. And hearing people give each other resources on how to kind of stay on top of those trends and updates. So just really great discussions this week. Again, it was really fun. And it also got me really excited for the continuation of the series next week. So next week, we have 3 more virtual meetups for our Houston, New York, and San Francisco groups. But as always, since these are virtual, feel free to register and attend these events if you're interested in meeting fellow admins and just joining the conversation. We welcome one and all. So yes, you all can hear the dogs. Of course, they're acting up right now. I've got one right here. Say hello. But my last update is that we are working on June's meetup schedule. So keep an eye out for those announcements. I'm so sorry.
Makes it
We'll be
fun. Don't
posting
worry about it.
those on our Meetup network. So I will drop the link to that in the chat. And now I will go on mute so you can escape that horrible, horrible sound.
Rob says that my daughter sounds different today, a bit rougher. That's actually my stomach because I didn't eat breakfast yet. So very, very.
This is Emerald. I'm dog sitting, and it's the best thing ever.
Emerald's the one that's being quiet, though.
Yeah, she's quiet. Her older brother is not.
That's funny. Well, thank you, Alexa. The meetups are a lot of fun. I think the conversations are amazing. We do like the conversations that happen in the meetups are very valuable, especially to me and for everyone else. It gives me ideas for content and for topics here on the IT Hour. It helps everyone just kind of get better. So if you are interested in being part of one of the meetup groups in your local area, feel free to go to the link that Becky just linked in the chat. If you're on YouTube, which we are streaming live on YouTube, I'm sorry it's not there right now, but it will be. You can feel free to join the Crowdcast. Yeah, join the meetup group. If you have a meetup group in your area that you are already a part of and you would like to have some help with organizing or sponsorships, we are also interested in that. So feel free to reach out to us. Cool. Moving along, we had a couple minor releases, and minor releases are doesn't mean they're not important. It just means that they don't get the full shebang of go to market with the song and dance of press releases and all that kind of good stuff. I call it a song and dance. I'm in marketing. I'm pretty sure someone's like, oh, Ben, really? Whatever. So, these ones are just kind of quality of life and things that come up that we create and push to the product, so that way it makes things better. This one's actually pretty cool. This one, I believe it's either out now or it's in early access or it's about to be released real soon. But this one is you can now enforce MFA on RDP authentication on every login attempt. So previously, this was a big thing, right? Is you would RDP into a server and it would ask for your multi-factor authentication. And if you didn't disconnect from that session properly and you go to log back in, your session would still be active and it would ask you to sign in, but it wouldn't require you to do MFA, right? So it allows you to basically just piggyback off your previous session. And you can do some interesting things with the RDP session settings within group policy, and you can terminate those sessions and make sure that as soon as someone disconnects versus, whatever, then it would actually terminate the session, but that's, nor here nor there. And now, no matter what the setting is, you'll be able to enforce MFA on all RDP connections going forward for push MFA. So really cool there. Also, let me check that box off. Yeah. Okay. Personio HRIS connector has been released into early access. This brings our HRIS count, I think, 4. So namely Bamboo, Personio, what is it? Workspace. So we've got a lot of plans for the HRIS integrations, and I think that is going to be huge because a lot of HRIS integrations or HRIS platforms don't have anything as it pertains to identity management or the ability to manage devices or anything along those lines. So partnering with someone like JumpCloud for them is a huge win. And if we can integrate with more HRIS integrations directly, then that's great. With that being said, if you have a system, I think because there's like HiBob and there's a bunch of others ones that are out there. Ultimate Software is one. If they have SCIM capabilities, you can actually use our custom SAML app. That's where you start, but then you actually have an option to select SCIM API, and you can actually ingest from a custom API or a custom source, such as like a HiBob or another HRS platform that we don't have a direct integration with yet. And you can actually bring in those identities from that platform. So when you start thinking about user onboarding, having that integration is huge. So skim all the things. Everything needs to be skimmed. Yes, Sean, you are 100% correct. If you don't know what SCIM stands for Standard for Cross-Domain Identity Management. I think I got it. Someone fact check me. Fact check. Whatever words. Okay. That's that. Those are the minor releases. Becky?
Forgot I was on mute. Do you also want to mention the day one Red Hat, even though I know we mentioned it last time, but since it's officially
officially RHEL 9, we have day one support for RHEL 9 Linux, which is a
release day.
Yeah, which is awesome because we've historically have always had a little bit of delay between when an operating system lands versus when we support it, especially when it comes to the world of Linux. But we've made a huge effort in getting Linux, development a lot faster. There's so many flavors of it. We're working on a bunch of different things with Linux, so stay tuned to that. But RHEL 9 same day support is amazing. Also, free the SCIM and SSO. Stop putting it behind a paywall. Yes, sso.tax is another website, and that's another article I'm pretty passionate about as well. A lot of companies, they SSO gate their product, so they make you pay for a certain tier in order to have a single sign-on, when the actual cost of them developing that product or the technology and offering it is very, very low, but they charge a lot of money for it. So I guess from a business perspective, it makes sense. It's a high margin item. I might as well charge for it, but I just think it's doing everyone a disservice.
Especially if you want to secure everything, right? Like make it as easy for people to secure things as possible.
Keith, the RDP MFA article for support, I will find it. I know it's out there. I think I've seen it. I think I have it linked somewhere. I'll have to go find it real quick for you. But I will get that. I owe you. All righty. So moving on, it is now time for whatever that was.
Drum roll, something. Desk roll.
Nathan, I hate that too. SSO should be a default option for all services. I think for business accounts, 100%. I think that for service providers out there, if you're listening, I challenge you. Provide SSO at all levels of your business plans. Like, just do it, right? Because, how many times do we hear about, so-and-so application was hacked or had a vulnerability and it was due to X, Y, and Z. And the service provider is like, well, that wasn't our fault. That was a misconfiguration. Well, you could have probably just offered SSO to that person, to that organization, and probably solved that problem. So SSO and SCIM all the things. So Sean and Rob, SSO all the things. Or SCIM. Whatever. All right, moving on. Now, we already had the drum roll, and then I abandoned ship. All right, moving on to the IT. The IT hot seat. I made your drum roll very anticlimactic, Becky.
That's all right.
That's all right.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
Yeah, service providers, money backers can't hear you. Yep, probably. Thanks to be in the side platform, I can read is growing. I'm not understanding. I'm sorry. Sarah.
Sock'em.
Well, that de-escalated quickly. Yes. Okay, moving on. Stop chat. Stop distracting me. It's very
you're very easily distracted.
It's very easy to distract. Stop it. Okay. All right. First article from Forbes. So yeah, Forbes. Microsoft issues. This was actually everywhere. Microsoft issues emergency Windows 10, 11, and server security update. The target being to correct the somewhat disastrous Patch Tuesday security updates that caused multiple authentication failures for many Windows business users. Anyone who this issue has impacted must apply the update as soon as possible. But there's a catch, Becky.
Those authentication failures were caused by installing the May 2022 Patch Tuesday updates on domain controllers. And these included authentication failures on the server or client for services such as Network Policy Server and Extensible Authentication Protocol, to name but two. The issue, according to Microsoft, relates to how the mapping of certificates to machine accounts is being handled by the domain controller.
So here's the catch. The updates aren't available from Windows Updates. So you're going to have to download, and you're going to have to download manually from the Microsoft's update catalog. You'll also need to search for relevant knowledge base number to find them. Those numbers and next steps were referenced in the article, so you can find that. But you can't just download it from the Microsoft updates. You have to go download download the updates from their catalog.
Gee, make it easy, Microsoft.
Which the theme of today's show's news articles was not to bash Microsoft. They were just in the news a lot this last week, and we're gonna get there. So that was interesting, and for a lot of people, this again had to do with their domain controllers primarily. Obviously, everyone knows who JumpCloud is, right? Household name. I think even kids are talking about it at the schoolyard while playing tetherball.
Or maybe jump rope.
Jump rope. Anyway, just get rid of your domain controllers. So let's see. Shiny ooh squirrel. Yes, Rob, that is me. What are domain controllers? Precious. Can we eat them? Making the process, huh?
No, you needed to do the voice a little more. Come on, Ben. Get with it.
Precious. I can't.
Precious.
Oh wow, that's.
It's.
Oh, that was. I'm gonna have nightmares.
Good.
Making the process of protecting our environments as simple as painless as possible. Yes, John, I agree. My grandma asked me if I was using JumpCloud. Yeah. Yes, Stephen. That is hilarious.
When she saw your socks, right? That was.
Yeah, Stephen posted on Instagram or on Twitter the socks that I sent him, so that was great. My grandma's using JumpCloud. That's funny. All right, cool. Next up, I don't know if y'all remember this, but back a while ago, January, February-ish, I posted on Reddit, and I posted in a lot of places where Google was removing the G Suite accounts and making them either pay for them or lose them. But according to Ars Technica and kind of everywhere, this is where I got it from. Google backtracks on legacy G Suite account shutdown. They won't take user emails.
So the saga so far, if you haven't been following, is that Google has a custom domain user account service currently called Google Workspace and previously called G Suite and Google Apps. The service is mostly a normal Google account that lets you use an email that ends in your custom domain rather than gmail.com. I actually have, several friends that use this. They use Google as their email service and just use their custom domain. Today, this service is aimed at businesses and costs money each month, but that wasn't always the case. From 2006 to 2012, custom domain Google accounts were free and even pitched at families as a geeky way to have an online Google identity.
Yeah. So, and back in January, they made the announcement that they would force these users that have been storing data in email for potentially 16 years to either pay up or lose their account. This, of course, caused a public outcry. I was one of them. I think I said I even posted on Reddit and had a very, very fun Reddit interaction on, how those things go, like get over it, right? So that's fine. That's just Reddit. That's just the way that it is. You know your audience, right? So yeah, but in May, Becky.
Yeah, in May, Google finally told those users what would happen to their accounts. The new support page actually says, for individuals and families using your account for non-commercial purposes, you can continue using the G Suite Legacy Free Edition and opt out of the transition to Google Workspace. You'll actually have to confirm that your G Suite account is for personal use and not business use, because businesses are still expected to pay for Workspace. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to have you prove that it's for personal use and not business use, but if you already bent to Google's will and started paying for Workspace because of the January announcement, Google says you should just contact support.
Yeah. So good news. if you're using it for your family, so you want to have, like your family domain, and you're using
BenGarrison.com or something like that.
it's
maybe.
actually bengarrison.me, but that's a shameless plug, and I would never do that here live on YouTube.
Well, I actually have a .com for mine, so
Yeah, well, whatever.
yeah.
Apparently, the .com is from is a political cartoonist. Apparently, so I don't know.
I just accidentally scored BeckyScott.com a while back. I found it and it was like only $100, and I'm like, yeah.
So you can prove that you're using it for family usage, and you won't lose or be forced to pay. So yeah, Steven has a .dev because he's cool. Yep, you are cool. I don't know if
Nice.
the .dev .net, because they were dirt cheap in 2001. True, they were indeed. I wanted to get like a .gg, but that was just weird. All right, moving on. Oh, Steven with the shameless plug. So Steven H. Dev.
Nice.
Keith, my .com finally came available when the dentist died. I mean, retired with my name.
Oh, I thought you stole it from, the musician. Except that would have an S on the end.
Right.
But, maybe he bought up all the ones that were close to his names in case people typoed it.
Yeah. Steven wants Steven.Google. I mean, I do too. All right.
You want Steven.Google as well? That's kind of
right.
weird.
All right. So this is not really quote unquote IT. I just thought it was cool. Snapchat's parental control feature spotted in development, according to TechCrunch. Snapchat is preparing to introduce a new parental control feature dubbed Family Center, which will allow parents to see who their teen is friends with on the app, as well as who they've been messaging with over the past 7 days and more.
This could be interesting. I have a teenager. According to new screenshots of Snapchat's forthcoming Family Center shared with TechCrunch by the product intelligence firm Watchful, the new Family Center feature allows parents to see who their teen is friends with on the app. If you can get your teenager to actually share their account with you. This is useful for parents because, unlike many social networks, Snapchat's friends lists aren't public. Parents will also have visibility into who their teen has chatted with over the past 7 days, but not the contents of those conversations. The screenshots additionally explain that parents will need to be able to assist their teen in reporting abuse and harassments if needed. Now, here's the thing, though. Maybe they'll share with you one of their accounts, but will you really get them to share all of their accounts with you? I mean, their public versus their private one, or, their first and secondary. I mean, kids do that. So
I mean,
it's an attempt, but
kids are always going to have a way to circumvent things. They're crafty little buggers. I promise that much. I have 2 of them. I know.
Yeah, Sean, result of Snapchat's policy changes. Teens stop using Snapchat.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Own submit. Snapchat rebranding to Sneak Chat. Yeah, because they're going to be sneaking around, or Snoop Chat. Yeah. I think that's one of those ones where it's good to see, and I think that there's parental controls and there's like parental MDMs for phones and that kind of stuff, which is nice. So you can kind of somewhat restrict what apps and, how often and that kind of stuff. I think that this is nice to see, but again, children are going to children and they're going to figure out ways around it. And I think that, conversation about what is good and what is bad on the internet with your kids goes a long way as well, on top of these technical things, just in case they happen to accidentally stumble upon something. We have a safe gate, but I think education and conversation goes a long way. So.
Well, and I also think that for the kids that do need help, so they can say, "Hey, I'm really getting harassed here. Can you help me?" Then that gives the parent the tools to be able to report it and try to help their kid out, because there are times where I have seen things happen on like Discord and stuff where there's just absolutely no way to block and report quick enough because they can, do so many multiple accounts. So it helps to be able to have some tools.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So this one here, this happened, I think, on the 16th. I believe it was, what is it, Monday? Sure. Monday it is. Whether it is or it isn't. Okay. The 16th is now Monday for the purposes of this conversation. Apple released the Mac OS Big Sur 11.6.6 and a security update to Mac OS Catalina 10.15.7, bringing minor updates to the last generation Mac operating systems, likely focused on security fixes and under the hood improvements. At the time, there wasn't much information on the release. But you can find the information on the Apple support site. There is a substantial amount of patches that came in Monday's update. So that was on Apple Insider. So I will actually link the Apple support site here in the chat. So that way, if you want to go take a look at that. But again, that's for Big Sur, and for Catalina was a security update, which there was a slew of them. So if you still have machines that are on Big Sur or Catalina, either, update them to either Monterey or get the patches going. So done. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
Lemon squeezy. All right. According to the Register and a lot of places on the internet, but this article is that the United States, will not prosecute good faith security researchers, hackers, under CFAA.
The U.S. Justice Department has directed prosecutors not to charge good faith security researchers with violating the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, CFAA, if their reasons for hacking are ethical, things like bug hunting, responsible vulnerability disclosure, or above board penetration testing.
Yeah. So good faith, according to the policy, means using a computer solely for purposes of good faith testing, investigation, and or correction of a security flaw or vulnerability. Additionally, this activity must be carried out in a manner designed to avoid any harm to individuals or the public, and where the information derived from the activity is used primarily to promote the security or safety of the class of devices, machines, or online services to which the access computer belongs, or those who use such devices, machines, or online services. So I think so you can hack something, you just can't take their data or DDoS them as a point, right? So, or find the exploit, but then just not do anything with it. How are they gonna nail all these peeps using F12 or escape? You hit escape and it launches the virus. What was that? Hackers? Was that the movie Hackers? Sean, but the Missouri government still can. This is true. So this doesn't supersede any local laws or anything like that. So,
and I wonder how many unethical ones will try to, pretend that they're ethical in some way. Like, oh, no, I was just, trying to submit a vulnerability to somebody. I'm surprised the Missouri governor even knows his own name. Ouch, Rob.
I mean, F12 is view source. Hey, you know what? I can change anybody's website locally. Locally, I can make it anything I want. Cool. All right. So back to what I was talking about earlier. This one's interesting. So Microsoft, again, was kind of in the news. These are all kind of connected in a certain way, so I'll have to explain it here in a second. But hackers are using certain tricks to trick users into downloading fake distributions of Windows 11 to distribute the Vidar malware, according to the Hacker News.
So, fraudulent domains masquerading as Microsoft's Windows 11 download portal are attempting to trick users into deploying Trojanized installation files to infect systems with the Vidar information stealer malware. These spoofed sites were created to distribute malicious ISO files, which lead to a Vidar, however you want to say it, info stealer infection on the endpoint, Zscaler said in a report. These variants of Vidar malware fetch the C2 configuration from attacker controller social media channels hosted on Telegram and Mastodon networks.
So the ISO file, for its part, contains an executable that's unusually large size over 300 megs in an attempt to evade detection by security solutions and is signed with an expired certificate from Avast that was likely stolen following the latter's breach in October 2019. But embedded within the 330 megabyte binary is a 3.3 meg size executable. That's the Vidar malware, with the rest of the file content padded with 0x10 bytes to artificially inflate the size. This is perfect timing, right? Since Windows 11, according to Microsoft, has been released for broad deployment. The broad deployment designation indicates that most systems supporting Windows will now run Windows 11 without the super restrictive hardware requirements. So basically, Microsoft has released Windows 11. They said, hey, we can now do this for broad deployment. It doesn't necessarily require all these, crazy hardware requirements. And then, of course, the hackers are like, oh, well, here's fake links to download Windows 11 on your machine. So just be careful with downloading Windows 11. Make sure that you're only getting it from the Windows website, Windows Store. Unusual size, so I shouldn't squat j.umpcloud.com. You go for it. I don't know anybody who would. I think it'd be umpcloud.com, and then you'd have to have a subdomain of J, which I don't know if you can do that. Can you? I think you can. But sure, go for it. Go for it. EXEs of unusual sizes. They don't exist. I mean, 300 megs is pretty big for .exe. It's pretty large. So, and then last but not least is on Tech Republic. So why couldn't you what, Steven? Anyway, sorry, distracted. Squirrel. So May 24th through May 26th is the Microsoft Build Online event. I'll post the link here in the chat as well if you want to go check that out. Basically, it's a place where you can come together at Microsoft Build to explore the latest innovations in code and application development and to gain insights from peers and experts from around the world. You could set up a domain, set up a J. I thought subdomains had to have at least 2. Am I wrong? 2 characters? Am I wrong with that? I never tried a 1-digit or 1-character subdomain before, so I don't know. I thought I had to have 2. But correct. It was in reference to the fake Windows download site. I'm wrong. You're just wrong. I'm just wrong. Always wrong. Oh, TLDs need to.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Well, we got too many conversations going on.
Oh, I'm so confused. All right. Well, you know what? Then fine. I'm going to go create a subdomain just like that. All right. Cool. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start to create the poll here for the winner of the hilarity for the IT hot seat.
The hilarity.
The hilarity. I am so ashamed. What are you ashamed for, Sean?
Are you ashamed because you messed up the ROUSs? The rodents of unusual sizes?
jumpclo.ud.com. There. Nailed it. Mixing up Killer Rabbit.
Oh, Killer Rabbit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shame. Shame. Wait, I have to ring the bell. Shame.
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 All right. So I went ahead and I created the poll. I created the poll for the hilarity. We've got 4 answers in there. So we have been, your daughter sounds different today, a bit rougher. My grandma asked me if I was using JumpCloud. That was in reference to JumpCloud as the household name. Everyone's using it. My.com finally came available when the dentist died. Retired with my name. And result of Snapchat's policy changes, teens stop using Snapchat. What does JumpCloud not own Jump.cloud?
I don't know. I'll have to ask our pitchforks to begin beings with the wet noodles. I don't know. If I was going to mention the Killer Rabbit, I would have maybe talked about the Holy Hand Grenade as well. Started, thou shalt count to, what is it, 5 or 4? Wait, Thou shalt count to 4, not 3, not 5. I can't remember. But my kids think it's hilarious.
So a couple of announcements while everyone does the poll. We've got like 1,000 people watching right now, so I should
That
have
could
at
be.
least.
It's only 59,000. That could be why we don't own it.
Yeah, it's only.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
we're good for it, right? Just pocket change. So we will not have ducks float. Yes, Sean. Stop. Okay, I'm distracted. Okay.
what's with
We
the
will,
non sequiturs, dude?
we will not have an IT hour for the next 2 weeks. I'm going on vacation, so yeah, I'll be
All
out.
vacations are canceled until the end of next month when I take mine.
Yeah, no, I will be gone from the 27th to whenever the next day is for that whole week, and then I'll be back the following week. So, not to fret. We do have a really fantastic webinar on the 26th, which is next Thursday at 12 Eastern Standard Time. And that is a webinar with some very interesting and lovely people. The topic is best practices for provisioning and securing Windows devices. So you can go check that out. I guarantee you it's going to be informative. It won't be nearly as fun or as engaging. I'm just kidding. It'll be very engaging. You can ask questions, but it won't be nearly as funny. I won't be there. But you can go check that out next Friday as well when we come back. We have a lot of really fun things to talk about, some stuff with managed service providers and some things around our SME IT trends, which we're also going to have on the IT hour in June. So a lot of fun talking points there. I'm out of coffee, so I can't do any more slurping sounds. So yeah, we'll just kind of let the vote happening. We're at 8 votes. We need to really up our voting game here. I mean, I think we get the same number of votes every week, and I really just feel like you don't love me, and this is this is just sad. I deal with the roasting, right? Give me the votes. Let's go. Vacations will be canceled.
I'm trying to give the evil eye. Does this help?
Not very evil. That's kind of creepy. Stop, please.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe it's not helping with the voting though.
Just stop. Actually, I think votes are actually disappearing right now.
Yeah, they're unvoting.
They're actually unvoting.
Oh wait, no, it worked. There was one more.
Yeah, we got some more votes. Vacations will be canceled until morale improves.
Oh yeah, posting outages. Yeah, go ahead and post an outage. You're going to spin up some people for posting about non-outage stuff.
Yeah, we still have the Slack channel, plenty of room and outages to post Monty Python quotes. I think Hris will be very upset with you if you do that, Rob. John is, I'm so quiet on the Slack channel. Come hang out. It's fun. Feel free. If you're not a member of the Jump Cloud Slack community, you can find the link at the bottom here of the screen. If you're on YouTube, I'm sorry, I think there is a link in the description. Really cool place to get kind of real-time help from the community, from other IT admins on various topics, whether that be Jump Cloud related or just IT related. We also have our community board at community.jumpcloud.com, and that will be a place where you can post your scripts, post your best practices, respond, ask for help, and start to create some fun content. Fun news there. I am in the process with Becky. I am in the process of creating a community repo and knowledge base. So what this is going to be about initially is going to be a place where you all can post your scripts or your repos or your how-tos. In that, you will also be able to upvote these different topics, or you can even create yourself knowledge-based articles that are specific to the community. So things such as connecting custom SAML applications or custom skim applications, or interfacing with legacy applications or things that we don't have pre-built into our product, as well as just some of the obscure integrations or automations that people are doing. We can actually create our own community-led knowledge base. Now, I will say this will not be managed by Jump Cloud. This is going to be managed by the community. So the content that's in there is going to be 100% controlled by the community members and the people that are in there. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to really help with a lot of the different things that people are doing, but just know it's going to be kind of wiki based, right? So it's going to be a matter of voting and communicating and being professional and sharing best practices.
But also collaborative. I mean, if y'all want to, in the knowledge base, if you want to work on something together, you can collaboratively edit and put something in together. Like someone can start something and then someone else can add to it and things like that, so that you can actually contribute to something together or improve on something that someone else has done. So that'll be the really cool part of it. In discussions, you just put something in there and someone else comments on it. And that's really great for people to ask questions and get clarity. But in the knowledge base portion of it, we will have it set up to where after you say, right now we're experimenting with it. We're thinking that after you reach, say, a certain level, you will have the ability to actually edit and contribute to things. So if you see an error, you can go and correct it, or you can extend what someone else has already done. So that's when it'll really be cool. But we will not be vetting things. We will not be checking it. It will be use at your own risk sort of thing.
Yep. And we'll have the legal disclaimers to our Jump Cloud terms of service when it comes to third-party applications and stuff along those lines. And also like, hey, use at your own risk. But that's all for the future. For right now, just know that that's super fun and it's going to be great. And I'm looking forward to seeing all the really cool integrations. So Wild West. Yeah. Well,
in the best way.
In the best of ways, it's not going to be like the one like someone always dies at the carnival type situation. It's not going to be one of those.
No red shirts.
Repo
no red shirts.
/ Ben Roast page win. I don't know. All right. Votes are done. We only got like 7 votes. Okay, bad math. 10, 11 votes. So the winner is Keith with my .com. Finally came available when the dentist died. Retired with my name. So KeithRichard.com is available. If not available, then he already owns it. So gold shirt. Yeah, I got to wear the gold shirt. That's a very expensive facial accessory, right? What is it? The mustache? Anyway, if you guys know the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. If not, then you're just sitting there looking at me like I'm silly. So
we do Keith, that all the time anyway, man.
Facts. Keith, congratulations. You are today's winner on the IT hot seat. So I will reach out to you to get your email address. Actually, I can get it from here. So I'll get your email address and you will send you a gift card for $25 to someplace. I think they'll send you an option. So
Best Buy. Yeah. That's our favorite. I just did that to spin Ben up.
Am I the only one that does not like Best Buy? Am I the only one? I don't like them. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. No, personal opinion. My opinions are my own.
That's required a foot. Well, you could whatever store you choose and whatever's at that store. We won't judge you too much.
Too much. John's with me. Dennis is with me. Keith, Jump Cloud Socks. Well, hey, thanks everyone for coming and hanging out with us, nerds, and joking around and having a good morning. I hope we brought some fun to your week. Have a wonderful weekend, and for those of us that recognize, I think Memorial Day is happening before I see everyone again. So happy Memorial Day to you as well, and take care. So
we'll
cheers.
See you in a couple of weeks.
Yay.
Bye.